So with gentlemen, we start as usual. Vatsala is the first person who does her job meticulously, sincerely, and on time. So Vatsala, we'll start with you. Are you around?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So, sir, the difference between naturalism versus realism art. Naturalism and realism created a contrast between their works and those from the preceding Romanticism movement. Naturalism inherited much from realism, yet there are underlying differences. I list them below. Realism is a style of true to life art that focuses on presenting the world and its social conditions and objects in the most realistic way possible. In contrast, naturalist painters focused more on the painting method, including the plein air painting, than the subject matter. Typically, realist painters present ordinary, lower class people in everyday situations rather than idealized heroes. However, naturalists reveled in the new photography technology and produced lifelike paintings unparalleled in any other period. For example, a naturalist painter may prefer to paint an idyllic country scene to near photorealistic standards. Naturalism art can be called a fusion of romantic landscape painting effects and techniques with the realism ideology. Naturalism incorporated regionalist and nationalist sentiments. Art historians believe that this tendency to paint familiar scenes was integral to the democratization of art. Naturalism attempted to integrate the human form into scenes and landscapes uniquely. Some prominent naturalists chose to focus on landscapes. One of the most prevalent theories of why naturalism painters painted landscapes was to communicate that nature is more powerful than human beings and can overpower or dominate humanity if it chooses. However, realist art showed the nobility of those times and contemporary viewers the back-breaking work that peasants did to survive, like working in the fields or trudging to the factories and industrial centers in the mid 1800s.
Okay, this is good. I'll just go, Naresh, just go up a little. I just want to clarify one thing. तुमने जो यहाँ पे बोला कि the first paragraph, in contrast, naturalist painters focused more on the painting method, including the plein air painting, than the subject matter. What do you mean by this exactly?
Sir, like they didn't focus at what they are showing, but more on the method, like painting out of doors or the method of painting, not on what is the content of the painting.
Method of painting. Still, it is not clear. I also have come across this thing. On social media, but it is also not very clear to me exactly. They're calling attention to itself, the method of painting. This is a hallmark of which started actually with the Impressionists and the Post-Impressionists and continued. Okay, by the time we reach realism and then followed by naturalism. Okay, realism is of course dealing with everyday life, exactly as it happens without romanticizing it, without idealizing it. Okay, and naturalism an offshoot of that, but तुमने जो किया है वो मतलब I don't know what are your sources, because naturalism is something which happened mostly in literature, okay, than in painting. But तुमने literature में उतना focus नहीं किया, तुमने visual arts में focus किया और visual arts में focus करके तुमने जो whatever you have written, almost like camera जितना closely एक record करता है, capture करता है, that is the kind of feature that naturalism also attempts. Photo finish, photorealistic standards is the phrase that you have used. And what I like about your answer is you are focused mostly on the visual arts. How naturalism differs from realism. Naturalist painters painted landscapes. Okay, यहाँ पे was to communicate that nature is more powerful than human beings and can overpower or dominate humanity if it chooses. Okay, this is something quite unique because we hardly come across information about naturalist paintings. Realism को ऊपर तो बहुत सारे हैं. Anyway, चलो let's move on to the next this thing, which is
also I would say, Vatsala, you should have quoted two particular painting by two particular painter, or maybe two particular painting by one particular painter. Then
yes, sir,
you would have substantiated your answer.
Exactly. Examples.
Two specific painting by one painter. in both the
Ah.
cases would have added more value to your thing.
Yes, sir.
I
Actually,
would
sir.
send you the detail about those two paintings, which I would like you to refer. Okay. Anyway,
Okay, sir. Differences between the modern and contemporary art. Critics put the beginning of modern art around the 1860s. Contemporary art describes the work of artists still living and creating artworks, most often the 1960s and 70s. Modern art was revolutionary in its origin because of the anti-romanticism, and the Industrial Revolution also influenced it. Modern artists rejected traditional perspective and featured innovative subject matter, but contemporary art is revolutionary for the freedom and magnitude of experimentation. Modern arts encompass different movements. Abstract expressionism marked the transition between modern and contemporary art, eliminating emphasis on the picture's content and focusing on the process. For example, Jackson Pollock indulged in the act of dripping paint and moving around the canvas with a cigarette in his mouth. With pop art, minimalism, conceptual art, performance, and installation art, contemporary artists took more interest in the concept and the artwork than the beauty and the form. Video, performance, and installation art combined and often lived outside galleries or traditional art spaces altogether. While modern artists work primarily on canvases, contemporary artists utilize every imaginable medium, including video art, tech enabled artworks, object design, graphical design. Contemporary artwork focuses on the effect on an experience of an artwork's viewer. We know contemporary art for its social impact with its many performance and social action projects. Modern art is about self-expression. Contemporary takes a firm stand on the world's social, political, and cultural aspects. Modern art explores the subjective representation of themes, and moreover, contemporary art questions concepts of aesthetics and art like the $10,000 non-visible art.
Good.
क्या मतलब हुआ इसका $10,000 non-visible art?
Sir, there is some art in which they just put the frame and nothing is actually visible, and they sell that for the $10,000.
You bought one?
No,
That's
sir.
contemporary
Don't
art.
write all this nonsense.
Yes, sir.
$10,000 nonsense, don't write. It is not a
Okay,
$1.
sir.
Banksy, Shashank बोल रहा है, somebody called Banksy who has is Banksy an artist or what? Shashank?
चलो टाइम बर्बाद मत करो. Third, next.
Okay, chalo.
Yes, sir.
Again, the example of specific painting. You have mentioned the art and all that, but specific example of two people and two names would have been again given a one more point. Anyway.
Yes, sir. So, sir, for the expressionist painting, I've chosen Puberty by Edward Munch, and the
ये हो
painting
रहा
is
है,
here.
ये भी तुमने भी यही वाला पेंटिंग लिया है, और वो तो दूसरी लड़की है, क्या नाम है उसका, प्रज्ञा परिमिता प्रधान. तुम लोग दोनों बैठ के डिस्कस करते हो, फिर बोलते चले इसी के ऊपर काम करते हैं, थोड़े पॉइंट तू ले ले, थोड़े मैं ले लेती हूँ. ये कैसे हो गया कोइंसिडेंस? एक ही पेंटिंग को लेके दो लड़कियां जो है लिख रही. ये तो मतलब ज्यादा कोइंसिडेंस.
Sir, actually, हम लोगों ने बात नहीं की थी, but later we realized that we have done the same thing.
It is not that. It can't. This kind of
Coincidence.
impossible coincidence is not. One specific painting you both are discussing. It means कहीं तुमने आपस में discuss किया है कि थोड़े point तू ढूंढ, थोड़े मैं ढूंढती हूँ. दोनों लिख.
No, sir, nothing like that, sir. We realized it later, sir.
चलो कोई बात. But you
Okay.
know that she's also written, right? At least
Yes,
that
sir.
much you know.
After writing it, we had exchanged it.
Okay, चलो. मतलब you exchange. चलो.
Yes, sir.
चलो. Okay.
Sir, puberty has associations of both symbolism and expressionism. Edward Munch emerged from the former to become pivotal in the latter. Interestingly, this painting was the puberty period of his work and marked the increase in personal expression. These are the reasons I feel puberty represents Edward Munch as an artist.
Edward Munch, not Munch.
Sorry,
Munch.
sir. Edward
Munch.
Munch as an
ah.
artist. Strong psychological and sexual tones. Edward Munch's famous painting Scream and Anxiety depict the psychological themes. Puberty covers one more aspect seen in Munch's paintings, repressed sexuality. Although the girl's posture is shy, her gaze is frank and direct. This duality conveys the beginning of womanhood and may also hint at the girl's concerns regarding menstruation and sexuality. Expressive use of line. Munch used dramatic lines to convey emotion. He did not only use horizontal and vertical lines. Most famous are his repeated swirling lines. The shadow behind the girl appears ominous because of the same technique. The shadow seems to represent something taboo and sinister. Non-naturalistic, unorthodox color. Post-impressionist inspired Munch. He used color to express emotion rather than mimic real life. He famously painted a blood-red sky to convey unease and a face green to convey fear. In this painting, we see the color green used similarly. He also uses bright yellow to add volume to his subject. Imperfection. Munch was unafraid of haphazard strokes. He preferred them. Sometimes he purposely scratched his canvas to create a particular effect. In puberty, we see the lines and strokes going boldly in different directions, enhancing the psychological impact on the viewer.
Okay, good.
अच्छा है ये.
Which year was this?
Sir, I am not sure about this.
Okay.
कोई बात. चलिए.
ठीक है, this is good.
संध्या परिमिता प्रधान आ जाइए.
Okay, thank
Sir, hello sir.
चलिए.
What is the difference?
तुम्हारा
Analytical cubism versus
माइक्रोफोन आते ही. चलो.
जी sir.
माइक्रोफोन तुम्हारा वाइब्रेट करने लग जाता है बोलते ही. क्या करती हो तुम माइक्रोफोन?
Sorry sir. Analytical cubism was the first movement of cubism and synthetic cubism came later. Analytical cubism used natural color, neutral color. Use of colors was almost non-existent as painters used monochromatic scheme like gray, blue and ochre. But in synthetic cubism, cubism emphasized on bright colors like red, green, blue and yellow. Analytical cubists breaking down an object into parts resemble have a
रीअसेंबल. देखो तुमने
सॉरी
तुम खुद लिखा है, तुम खुद गलत पढ़ रहे हो. हाँ, रीअसेंबल ब्रेक डाउन कर रहा है, फिर रीअसेंबल कर रहा है.
जी सर. Reassemble have a multiple viewpoints and overlapping planes. Example, Mazzoli by Picasso. But in synthetic cubist, idea of introducing physical elements of real life to make the painting more real. Analytical cubism didn't use extraneous materials, but synthetic cubism did, such as newspapers, sand, and posters that create a flatter space than analytical cubism. Example, bottle, glass, violin by Picasso. Sorry sir, थोड़ा नीचे. सर मैंने
या सही है. तुमने जो एकदम टू द पॉइंट, मतलब डिफरेंस बिटवीन एनालिटिक एंड सिंथेटिक क्यूबिज्म, यू ऑफ
ये बहुत अच्छा लिखा है तुमने.
हाँ, 3 पॉइंट में तुमने एकदम जो इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट्स है वो तुमने डिस्कस किया, व्हिच इज गुड. सिर्फ डेट थोड़ा सा अगर डिस्कस कर सकते तो अच्छा होता. कि जो वाइटल पॉइंट्स है ना, कि एनालिटिकल में मोनोक्रोमैटिक कलर्स यूज किया जाता था ज्यादा, और इसमें ब्राइट कलर्स वर यूज्ड. एनालिटिकल में नो एक्सट्रेनियस ऑब्जेक्ट्स वर यूज्ड. it was only done through paints on the canvas. Okay, but यहाँ पे newspapers वगैरह इस्तेमाल किया जाए. So collage, so the birth of collage धीरे-धीरे यहीं से पैदा हुआ. Okay, so these points are really relevant and to the point, जिसे हम लोग बोलते हैं. चलो अभी देखते हैं naturalism versus realism.
Realism art. Naturalism is characterized by the representation of real life, almost photographic representation, whereas realism focuses on the world around character and how they experience it. Naturalist is more concerned about how a subject is painted, but realism concerned about the content rather than the method. It focused on realist artists depict common people living their life going for work. Naturalistic arts are very soothing, eye-pleasing, no negative elements are there, and less concerned with the subject. Example, a bushfire at sunset, Queensland by Marion North. But naturalists seek to the subject matter that are uncomfortable, including gritty street scenes, nudity and sex, and social and political issues. Example, Ivan the Terrible and his son Ivan by Ilya Repin.
यहाँ पे एक चीज, हाँ प्रज्ञा, यहाँ पे एक चीज मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ. पॉइंट नंबर 3 तुमने जो लिखा कि naturalistic arts are very soothing तुमने लिख रहे हो, eye pleasing लिख रहे हो. At the same time तुम couple of lines later you're written but naturalist seeks to the subject matter that are uncomfortable including gritty street scenes. तुम एक बार लिख रहे हो there was soothing and eye pleasing, at the same
सर
time तुम लिख रहे हो
शायद मैंने नेचुरलिस्टिक जगह रियलिस्टिक लिखना शायद मेरा वो
रियलिज्म होगा ना, वो जो
हाँ,
तुम
हाँ,
सेकंड ये जो बोला वो रियलिज्म
सर।
होगा. include gritty street
जी,
scenes,
जी,
nudity
सर।
and sex and social and political issues. ये रियलिज्म का चक्कर था, ठीक है ना? ओके चलो.
रियलिज्म
या हाँ हाँ
जी सर।
नहीं वो
According to
नेचुरलिस्टिक
the-
रहेगा. फर्स्ट इज
नहीं नीचे
तुमने जो
वाला नीचे वाला
नीचे वाला जो
हाँ।
है बट नेचुरलिस्ट सीक्स,
but
ये
के बाद।
रियलिस्ट है. बट के बाद
रियलिज्म हाँ
हाँ ये बट के बाद हाँ ये होगा, हाँ राइट, वो होगा रियलिस्ट.
रियलिस्ट
हाँ
According to the naturalism, the material world is the only real world and it is the only reality. Universe have law for men. But realists believe that there are no universe, man made their own rule. जी सर बस इतने ही पॉइंट्स.
अच्छा ठीक है चलो. It's not very clear, the difference is not very. देखो these are the two terms, these two terms, realism and naturalism, had befuddled students of literature and students of art for more than 100 years. Okay, there's a lot of debates, a lot of controversy on the description, on the exact definition of these two terms. Okay, I'll discuss that later. Chalo. Chalo, next is difference between modern art versus contemporary art. Okay?
Modern and contemporary art. Modern art depicts the life of an era that has passed, but contemporary art focuses
देखो
on
मॉडर्न आर्ट का स्पेलिंग
now.
तुमने देखो प्रज्ञा, मॉडर्न आर्ट को तुमने मॉडर्न किए जा रहे हो. हाँ
ये उड़ीसा स्टाइल मत
हाँ,
लगाओ
व्हाट
यहाँ
इज मॉडर्न?
सॉरी हाँ मैंने गलत लिखा है.
हर बार तुमने मॉडर्न लिखा है, ऐसा गलती मत करो यार. दिस विल बी ट्रीटेड एज केयरलेसनेस. यू नो मॉडर्न इज अ इजी स्पेलिंग ना.
उड़ीसा में बड़ा डिफिकल्ट वर्ड है. they are not used to the word called modern. first time she is hearing.
Sorry sir.
चलो
हाँ
बढ़ो आगे.
Modern art depicts the style of an era that has passed, but contemporary art focused on now and the future era that made by living artists. Modern art is emphasized on the subjective representation of the chosen theme rather than focusing on the realm. Whereas contemporary art pays attention and takes a strong stand on social, political, and cultural aspects rather than focusing on the aesthetic. Modern
so
art
you mean
primarily,
to say contemporary art is much more politically conscious, isn't it, compared to modern art? Is that so?
मॉडर्न आर्ट में सर वो था लेकिन ज्यादा कंटेम्प्रेरी में था. जो इंडस्ट्रियल रिवॉल्यूशन में जो हुआ था उसको लेकर जो पेंटिंग मॉडर्न आर्ट में भी हुआ था, लेकिन कंटेम्प्रेरी में ज्यादा रिएक्ट कर रहे थे.
अच्छा, you mean to say comparatively they are much more politically aware and politically conscious, and the political reality, the environmental problems, global warming, they get reflected in the works of the contemporary artists much more than what they did in the modern era, the modern art. Okay, chalo, okay.
Contemporary modern art, comparatively modern art, contemporary art have more artistical freedom and experimentation. Yes, sir.
Why this so? Can you tell me why there is more artistic freedom in contemporary art compared to modern art? Can you tell me? Can you tell us?
मैंने शायद एक पॉइंट मैंने ऐड करना भूल गई हूँ, क्योंकि मॉडर्न आर्ट जो है वो उसका एक कैनवस पे बनता था, लेकिन कंटेम्प्रेरी आर्ट उसका कुछ नहीं था. वो ग्राफिक आर्ट में ऐसा होता था, वर्चुअल रियलिटी जो अभी आया है, सब कुछ मॉडर्न आर्ट कंटेम्प्रेरी आर्ट में सब कुछ चलता है. वीडियो आर्ट ये शायद मैंने वो आर्ट करना
नहीं, वो तो तुम देखो, तुम दादाइज्म में भी था ना. दादाइज्म में भी you could do anything. You could take up a found object, जिस लोग बोलते थे found object, a urinal, and turning it into an object of art. Okay, चलो, I'll discuss this point later. ये जो individual ये जो point लिख बोला तुमने, I'll discuss that later. Okay, चलो.
ये अच्छा लिखा है वाला point आपने थोड़ा डिस्कस नहीं किया. चलो कोई बात.
सर लेकिन ऑनेस्टली हमने लिखने के बाद ही शेयर की थी. और मैंने सर गूगल भी नहीं किया है क्योंकि
ना,
मैंने
सही
देखा
बात
पॉइंट्स
ठीक है, ठीक है,
हमने तो
गुड
Google
गुड।
पे Google किया।
चलो ना पढ़ो, डोंट फील सो सेल्फ कॉन्शियस। हाँ, ओके।
above painting is by expressionist
एक्सप्रेशनिस्ट,
Edward Munch.
हाँ, एडवर्ड मुंश, हाँ।
In the painting, a girl is sitting on the bed with folded hands that covers her private part. Her legs are placed in a very conscious manner. Whole body language conveys her uneasiness. Diffusion of colors are equally attracting the audience. Somewhere, distorted bare body of the girl in white bed dominate the whole painting. As the
What do you mean by
title of the
distorted?
painting,
What do you mean
puberty.
by एक सेकंड प्रज्ञा, what do you mean by distorted?
जी सर,
Distorted का
क्योंकि
मतलब
सर
क्या है?
क्लियर नहीं है जो
तो distorted is not the
क्लियर
right word,
नहीं है ना
distorted.
मुझे,
You
बट
mean to say distorted or distorted?
डिसऑर्टेड
Distorted कोई word नहीं होता,
फिर से
distorted होगा ना।
स्पेलिंग
हाँ
गलती कर दी।
हाँ हाँ, ओके चलो।
चलो
डिविजन ऑफ कलर्स, सॉरी हाँ, थर्ड पॉइंट सर नीचे लीजिए प्लीज। As the title of the painting, puberty, innocence on her look and body structure clearly symbolize the age of bloom. On left side wall, pale yellow color create warmth, and on right side, black color, which may be a shadow of the girl, but that creates a feeling of scary and mysterious. Also, there is a feeling of isolation. Reason may be the girl in the state of her first menstruation that isolate her from outside world. जी सर।
ओके, सो ठीक है, दिस इज अप्रिशिएबल, मतलब एटलीस्ट बेटर देन रेड बिंदी तुमने जो लिखा था वो लास्ट टाइम जो पेंटिंग एनालिसिस में।
This is nice. This is nice. Very
दिस इज
personal.
नाइस, वेरी पर्सनल, नाइस, ओके। सो ठीक है, दिस इज गुड।
Words that you did not copy each other.
नहीं सर, पर बाद में देखा कि पॉइंट्स भी काफी सिमिलर है देखने के बाद, मतलब कैसे आई मीन बहुत सेम हो गए।
नहीं, वो हो ही सकता है।
Telepathy से जुड़ गए। Telepathy between Delhi and चलो नितिन प्रजापति, चलिए आइए।
थैंक यू सर।
चलो नितिन।
Yes, good evening all. Am I audible?
Yes, चलो।
Okay.
तू भी एडवर्ड मंच हो, बट कोई बात नहीं, पेंटिंग अलग है। there are 22 painters mentioned in a book. I'll just share with you right now quickly. I will stop share and I will show you this book. All of you should see this. Let me just pin video. Okay, guys. So this is a book called Expressionism by the Taschen publication, which is one of my favorite publication, and it has roughly around, I would say, 12 and roughly around 30 painters are being listed in this one. So you people are stuck only with the Edward Munch and you have not moved further. So I have no problem because the question says you can choose anyone, but it's a good idea to include some other famous painter also, not just the Edward Munch, but you can include Edward Munch also. I have no problem. चलिए बोलिए, आइए। Girl on the Bridge.
Okay, so the painting title is The Girls on the Bridge, and we know the artist Edward Munch. Sir, I have one doubt. Is it Munch or Munch? Because
Munch,
Munch.
M-U-N-C-H, Munch.
चलो।
Okay. Munch was an expressionist from Norway. His painting style were influenced by Paul Gauguin and Van Gogh. The painter's styles and attribute. Unlike most renowned paintings of Munch, which are dark and depressed, like the Scream and the Sick, painting is more light and colorful. The painting features three girls standing on a bridge, looking. Facial expressions of the girls are not visible as we are seeing their back. The attire of the girls are very contrastingly juxtapositioned, so as their hair, making each of them unique, basically unique attributes to each. The thick brush strokes are clearly visible. Colors don't have perfect separation, although the artist achieves differentiation among objects. The colors are not very vibrant, but
Yeah, we are losing you once in a while.
Shades.
Okay,
The pastel. Am I audible, sir?
नहीं, तुम्हारा we are losing you once in a while. मतलब I don't know whether it's a
चलो
network
बोलो
problem.
बोलो
हाँ, चलो पढ़ो। हाँ हाँ।
Yeah, so the colors are very bright, but also are not completely shade. The pastel blue on sky, shade green on vegetation, sun, and again a pastel hue for earth describes a balanced composition in the sense of color. Although the overall mood of the color scheme can be described as sober morning. Paintings feature the brush bends. Painting features the brush bends are color separation as a flat painting, which is in case of which is the actual case of expressionism. I think the sentence is incorrect. We can see shapes and strokes merging into each other, not color though, but still artists have successfully established a sense of perspective, which is enhancing the mise-en-scène. In the psychological part, the painting, in my views, conveys the calmness of the morning in the countryside. The painting is lyrical and considering how tough the childhood of artist was. Maybe this is what he dreamed of seeing on an average daily life. As a conclusion, the above painting has the key features of Munch in technical aspect, but visually and psychologically, this painting itself is a story and a different kind of expressionist art.
Okay, so is this your own interpretation, or you're borrowed from Google and all other sources?
No, sir, I did not. I just looked and tried to
So this is
express.
your express. Okay, this is fair enough. Very, in fact, this is not fair enough. This is quite good. Okay.
Thank you, sir. So the difference between synthetic cubism. Cubism as a movement started as Picasso started in real life, better say, simplifying objects in cubes and cones. To understand the diversity of art and style more clearly, the art historians has divided the movement into two parts. Major common characteristics, and we can observe significant differences as well. Of cubism is termed as analytical cubism from 1908 to 1912. The movement after 1912 is called synthetic cubism, when painters started including texture and real life objects such as newspaper. The initial time is termed analytical since the artists were more focused on breaking down a scene and analyzing the shape better. The later part is called synthetics, as the word suggests, synthetics, as the painters started using mixed media and collage and had greater interest in decorative effects. Analytical cubism painters used very minimal amount of colors since they wanted the audience to focus more on the shapes and understand their role in nature. The tones, again, there's a spelling mistake. The tones were muted and art was made up of interweaving of planes and lines, whereas the synthetic cubism art was simpler shapes in brighter colors. Analytical cubism was breaking down an object like a bottle, viewpoint by viewpoint, resulting in fragmentary image of multiple planes. Basically, you can see it from many directions, but and every direction will give you a newer view. So
Okay.
Cubism was about flattening out the image and sweeping away the last trace of sense of the three-dimensional space, making it more flat basically.
बहुत अच्छा लिखा है, चलिए अच्छा पॉइंट है.
Okay, so next is naturalism and realism. Sir, can you scroll up? The two are realism are very similar on the surface, as they to share many points of interest and key areas around them in an accurate, truthful manner, rather than to interpret the subject matter. Although being similar, there were differences in art style.
Core idea is similar. There were spelling mistakes. Exam में मत करो ना, बोलेंगे carelessness है.
Yes,
ना? Be very careful about your spellings. हाँ, अगर कोई difficult French name है, उसका name तुम गलत कर दिया, that is understandable. But ordinary English words का spelling ऐसा mistake मत करो. Okay, yeah.
Slight dyslexia, sir.
नहीं, अच्छा, okay. Chalo.
Naturalism tried to capture scenes as they appeared in almost photographic representation and was less concerned with what was captured. Whereas realism was an effort to capture the real world as artists experienced it, in particularly the life of the lower classes. The naturalists majorly concentrated on the landscape painting, while realists depicted people, urban people more often. Yeah. One reason can be specified as the locality of origin. The most famous naturalist school was from Barbajon, France, where artists gathered to paint the countryside of France. On the other hand, realists were majorly from Paris, so the depiction remained more urban and it had basically a struggle of people. Naturalists also had a scientific view of the world, with human beings seen as a part of nature, and whereas realists see human experience and their endurance of utmost. In literary definition, naturalists perceived individuals as a helpless object who is nevertheless heroic, unlike Renaissance or Romanticism. And the realists perceived individual as a person with depth, ability to make ethical choices and environment.
इसका फर्क समझा पाओगे? ये जो लास्ट पॉइंट तुमने जो लिखा, literary definitions, naturalists perceived individuals as a helpless object who is nevertheless heroic, unlike of course Renaissance or romantic hero, and the realists perceived the individual as a person with depth, ability to make ethical choices and act upon the situation and environment. Why can't the naturalist hero, act upon, cannot make ethical choices and act upon his situation and the environment?
Yes, sir. So basically, Romanticism basically, established landscape as a subject, and the naturalists obtained it and also added people as a part of nature, because they majorly wanted to portray nature, but considering people are also part. So they always gave more preference, more emphasis on how nature can tend and bend towards, and people were basically following along. And
you mean to say in the naturalist paintings, the person was at the mercy of nature? ऐसा है कुछ?
Yes, sir.
He cannot make a choice. He's at the mercy of the nature. Is that you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But in a realist painting, I mean,
realists are basically they were more urban, so they were struggling. They were following the industrial era, so they were doing their own thing. They were either following their path or trying to change the politics. So realists
they were proactive. The realist heroes were proactive, and whereas the naturalist heroes were reactive. That is what you mean to say?
just living life and doing their part in the most non-significant way.
Okay. ठीक है, चलो पढ़ो. Difference between modern art versus and contemporary art.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, पढ़ो. Last.
So, modern
question.
and contemporary, as the word means the same, of present time. Both words mean the same. But if we look at not as modern as today's date, basically it's just called modern time and it's not from today. Is old, while contemporary art is still progressing and applies to this date. But that's not the only difference. Let's discuss about in details. So the modern art period can be said to place between 1860s to late 1960s. In the period, many revolutionizing art movement originated from the contemporaneous socio-eco-political environment, which were Impressionism, Symbolism, Fauvism, Expressionism, Cubism, Dadaism, and Surrealism. Post-1960s, the time of contemporary art period began, developing styles such as conceptual, minimalist, postmodern, feminist, installation art, and Art Deco. The modern artists mostly experimented in forms of painting, sculptures, architecture, and literature. Contemporary art experimented with performance art, video art, land art, installation art, and also virtual art. Basically, any medium you can think of.
Very good.
Contemporary
Very good.
art has
Yeah. Very good.
Unlike the modern art, where style were identifiable and classification was easy, contemporary art can be challenging to classify. Basically, the point where we were discussing that why, so that is the problem. We cannot.
मतलब modern art में the movements could be classified in terms of their approach and style and the use of color and the other formal elements. You can say this is surreal and this is not impressionist. Or this
Globalization
is,
also, because initially,
but contemporary art
yeah,
में
so
ये
globalization has
classification,
also impacted a lot.
of course, yeah. ये categorization और classification contemporary art में उतना आसान नहीं है, easy नहीं है. ठीक है, चलो.
So modern art as to shift away from the aesthetic and beautification which was there previously, and sought to create art that social issues as Great Depression or maybe the French Revolution or war aftermath or psyche of a person. But contemporary art has taken it further and has shifted the focus to the work's underlying concept, not the work itself. Contemporary art is often more of a discussion, a conversation between artists and the audience. It deeply focuses on social issues and focuses on the topics such as racism, globalization, terrorism, oppression, poverty, and feminism.
Okay. ठीक है. So nobody else?
Yeah, that is the last one. So now we can shift to your points.
Yeah,
If
but
they are not willing to be commented on their work, nobody is going to write for them. If they are not willing, let it be. We'll finish.
and
it.
there seems to be a lot of absentees also.
No, absentees.
Okay,
Even if they are present here, say for example, Professor Samya Sen Sharma from Jadavpur University, he is there, but he is he has become an observer.
क्या हुआ Samya Sen Sharma? Why have you not done your assignments?
He has reached FTI wisdom tree.
Is there in wisdom tree?
with his old monk bottle and one glass, and he's drinking, so don't disturb him.
Acha, let's not
There are some
disturb
other
him.
people
Okay.
also.
He's already achieved nirvana.
Siddhant has already reached. There is another girl, that Pune girl, Sharma, she has already reached. That guy, he has already reached. So they have arrived. They have enlightened. So let the rest of the people start. So, okay.
That girl from Pune, she used to be
Yeah,
quite
yeah.
active. Nah? She used to be quite active.
All of a sudden, all these student who belongs to the category of horses has shifted to the donkeys category. There are two warriors who are still around. Our Odisha girl, Pragya Parimita Pradhan, and this Vatsala Saxena. They are in sync, Rahu Ketu together. And I'm very hopeful that both of them would get selected this year. I'm very, very hopeful. Rest also has a potential, but as I said, that they have shifted to the wisdom tree already, so I don't expect. But anyway, they have a potential if they still wake up. Chaliye, let's start with another.
Okay, so I've jotted down notes basically randomly from the same source where you have also jotted down from. Okay. And most of it is already discussed. Analytical and synthetic cubism का जो differences है, प्रज्ञा ने बहुत सही तरीके से लिखा है कि देखो, first of all, कि analytical जो cubism है, the main idea, if you look at first of all, that is the early phase of the cubism, generally considered to run from 1908 to 1912. The key idea was deconstruction. You're deconstructing an object, deconstructing your subject, okay, for the sake of analysis. That is how we derive the name of analysis, analytical cubism. तुम एक cup है, suppose I'm holding a cup, okay. So a cup has, when I am holding it like this, you do not see this portion, you do not see this portion. It is hidden because I'm holding it like this, okay. But an analytical cubism क्या करेगा, ये जो cup है इसको तोड़ मोड़ करेगा, इसको deconstruct करेगा और इसके जितने sides हैं, including this thing which you can't see, including the bottom which you can't see, including the interior of the cup which you don't see, सबको एक साथ दिखाएगा. So multiple points of views. Generally क्यों आता है, when I'm holding the cup like this, it's only a single point of view, isn't it? It's not multiple points of view. Cubism का चक्कर ये है, cubism which they started by Cezanne, basically they were inspired by Cezanne, okay, कि तोड़ मोड़ करो, हर angles दिखाओ, हर corners दिखाओ, okay. So so we have multiple perspectives. So what you're doing, you're deconstructing the cup for the sake of analysis, okay. That is the main feature of analytical cubism. Of course, the color, and so you have geometrical angular shapes and geometrical shapes like spheres and cones and cylinders, etc., okay. It's very flat. There's an effect of two dimension. The foreground and the foreground and the background, they merge almost. So they lack a sense of depth. There's no sense of perspective. These are the other features which have discussed earlier. Okay. So, so this is number one, multiple points of views. And the second is the use of colors, monochromatic color scheme. Why monochromatic color schemes? Okay. Because it does not want to, it does not want the audience, the viewers to concentrate on the colors, but on the shape, the structure of the object, which is being broken, which is being deconstructed. तुम उसको देखो, स्ट्रक्चर को देखो, डिफरेंट जो छोटे छोटे क्यूब्स बनाए गया है उसको स्टडी करो, स्ट्रक्चर ये करो, ठीक है. सो इट, and of course it emphasizes the two-dimensional space. Okay, so whereas synthetic cubism में क्या है कि the colors which were used were very very bright colors compared to the monochromatic scale which was used in the analytic. Okay, number one, the bright colors. Number two, तुम्हारा उसमें क्या है कि it resorted to different, I mean they were using newspapers, sandpapers and different objects. Okay, that was a birth of collage. Collage ka art, you know na what is collage. So synthetic cubism started doing collage, started using newspapers to portray an object. Okay, which was not the case with analytic. They used only the paint and the brush. Okay, these guys started using external things like newspapers and glue along with paints. Okay, along with paint. Okay, this is a major difference apart from use of bright colors. And again, the third very important thing is this: ki synthetic cubism was much more, they were much more realistic in the sense ki they were not breaking it into blocks and pieces and those geometric structures. जो कप जो है वो कप को break कर रहा है, लेकिन they're trying to be as realistic as possible, but they're of course distorting the image also. जहाँ पे वहाँ पे क्या है, angular मतलब analytical cubism में क्या है, they're breaking it into blocks, into different pieces to show you all the angles. सिंथेटिक क्यूबिज्म में उतना ज्यादा ब्रेकिंग अप का चक्कर नहीं था. ऑफ कोर्स वो डेप्थ का चक्कर था कि इट वाज फ्लैट, इट वाज टू डायमेंशनल, इट वाज मोर फ्लैटर, इट वाज मोर टू डायमेंशनल देन द एनालिटिकल क्यूबिज्म. Okay, but so these are the main differences, analytical and synthetic. Clear hai? Okay, chalo, let's move on to this thing. जैसे कि लास्ट लाइन देखो तुम्हारा, मतलब पॉइंट नंबर 9 अगर तुम देखो, सिंथेटिक क्यूबिज्म वाज मोर symbolic than analytical cubism. It did not strive to achieve a heightened view of four-dimensional reality. Rather, it strove to achieve a hint at reality. Perfect representation nahi, okay, perfect reproduction nahi, but a hint at reality, but in a very distorted way. Okay. Point number 10, देखो, synthetic cubism, look at the red highlights. Synthetic cubism aim to flatten out an object into a 2D image, often as a collage, whereas analytical cubism broke down an object from multiple viewpoints and reconfigured them so that every aspect of the image would be visible on a 2D plane. Okay. So, for my examples of color palette of Picasso's synthetic cubism works are distinctly brighter because he started using colors. Okay, is there any more point? I don't think there's any more point. Okay, there's a very interesting thing that I read about cubism, earlier practice of cubism. Along with this guy Picasso, Pablo Picasso. Okay, his contemporary was Georges Braque, isn't it? These were the two guys who started the Cubist movement, and it was a very conscious, a self-conscious kind of a movement. Initially, during the analytical stage, both the styles were so similar to each other that you could not make out कि कौन सा पिकासो का है और कौन सा ब्राक का है. जैसे कि नरेश ने मुझे लास्ट वीक पूछा था कि how would you define style? It is a style that differentiates one artist from another artist. Okay, but during the initial stages of analytical cubism, the styles of both Braque and Picasso, they were absolutely identical. So you couldn't make out कौन सा artist का है. Clear है? Anyway, so of course, being individuals, artists are very, very individuals, very, very individual. So they definitely will have their own styles. Okay. Now we come to realism versus naturalism. देखो यहाँ पे look at the continuity of the movement. Look at point number 1. I've just written the continuity. If we pick up from Renaissance, take a Renaissance art, which I don't think we have discussed in details. तुम लोग पढ़ लेना एक बार, Google से you make notes, because Renaissance art के ऊपर भी questions आ सकता है. Okay, Renaissance art. Yesterday we were talking about, you know, the birth of Baroque art, which was like a revolt against Renaissance. Okay, then which was followed by Rococo. Rococo was much more simpler compared to Baroque. Baroque was very, very ornamental, very, very ostentatious, very, very extravagant, larger than life. Okay, Rococo was also like that, but the lines were simpler, the forms were simpler. Okay, so sometimes Rococo is also called the late Baroque. It was followed by Neoclassicism, which we discussed yesterday. Okay, Neoclassicism was influenced by, they paid homage to classical art. They were inspired by Renaissance, and the Renaissance itself was inspired by, you know, the Greek art, the Greek culture, and the Roman art, early Roman art. The Greek art is also called Hellenistic art, Hellenistic, Hellenistic, nothing to do with hell. Again, a Hellenistic art or Greek art, same thing. So both Renaissance and Neoclassicism, they were heavily inspired by पुराने जमानों का, मतलब the earliest, जो, you know, the Greek civilization, which is the bedrock of Western civilization, and the early Roman civilization. Okay, so but Neoclassicism definitely dealt with grandeur, but their approach was much more simpler, and the guiding principle was rational, because Neoclassical art, which we discussed yesterday, happened during the age of enlightenment. It was followed by, just go up a little, Romanticism. Romanticism क्या है? Romanticism, we have also discussed Romanticism. Romanticism में जब इंसान जो human being जो है, unlike the new classical hero, okay, who is driven by rational thought, who's driven by logic, okay, the romantic hero is a wild person. Okay, he's a like, you know, bindas kind of a guy. He's like a Sufi saint. He's like a baul singer. Okay, he's extremely romantic. He's extremely wild. That is your romantic hero. Either he's in harmony with nature, nature is his home, or he's in conflict with nature. He's overwhelmed by nature. He's not scared of death. Agar death aayega to aayega. I'm not scared of death. Okay, so Romanticism. So that is why, you know, it's a very romantic way of looking at life. Realism came as a jhatka. Okay, realism is a movement which came as a reaction against Romanticism, because by this time, you know, we have moved away from the age of enlightenment. Industrial revolution is taking place. Migration is happening. People have started living in poverty. There's a lot of disruption in society. A new class is born, which is called the proletariat class, or the working class. Okay, and they were living in extremely inhuman conditions. Things were no longer very romantic in the romantic movement sense of the term. Okay, things were extremely depressing. So the realist painters and the realist writers, they decided कि भैया ये सब romanticism वगैरह, neoclassicism ये सब गया. Okay, Baroque को तो भूल ही जाओ, वो लोग पहले ही भूल चुके थे. Neoclassicism भूल गया था, romanticism भूल गया था. Okay, हम लोग कुछ लेना देना नहीं है. We should portray the life as it exists. That was the approach of the realist art. Okay, followed by naturalism. Naturalism, you might say, is a kind of extreme realism. Okay, now of course, now before I discuss the difference between realism and naturalism, if you see the paragraph, naturalism is followed by impressionism, post-impressionism, futurism. Futurism is another movement that we have not discussed. Futurism bhi dekh lena. Okay, Fauvism, Cubism, Dadaism, Surrealism. Each tradition reacted. It's very important line. Each tradition reacted against the previous tradition. Sometimes overlapping, sometimes borrowing and being influenced also. So these major movements were interspersed with other movements like constructivism, art movement in Russia, etc. Okay, so there's a continuity, there's an overlap, there's a reaction against, there's a rebellion against previous art forms, and there's also an acknowledgement and respect also at the same time. ठीक है, ऐसा नहीं कि total break. These are not, airtight compartments. Each followed the other. हाँ बोलो.
Correct है.
ठीक
ये
है
जो
ना?
अभी व्हाट यू सेड द रियलिज्म, इसके
हम्म।
आगे कुछ एक जगह आपको ये भी मिलेगा सोशल रियलिज्म।
सोशल रियलिज्म रशिया में इट
रियलिज्म जो
वाज
है
एन
वो हमने
ऑफिशियल,
तीन
या
डिस्कस किया था। एक था
हाँ
फैंटास्टिक रियलिज्म जो हमने डिस्कस नहीं किया था,
हाँ हाँ हाँ
एक वो जो था क्या बोलते हैं मैजिकल रियलिज्म,
हाँ,
और
मैजिकल रियलिज्म, हाँ बहुत तरह के रियलिज्म है।
तो ये जो
लेकिन
रियलिज्म है सोशल रियलिज्म।
हाँ, सोशल रियलिज्म क्या है? वो रशिया में जो कम्युनिस्ट लोग केम टू पावर ना 1917 में, इट वाज द ऑफिशियल मूवमेंट, यू नो, इट वाज ऑफिशियली रिकॉग्नाइज्ड एंड पेट्रोनाइज्ड, यू नो। तुम्हें जो भी वर्क ऑफ आर्ट करोगे, पेंटिंग में, स्कल्पचर में, तुम्हें वर्किंग क्लास को रोमांटिसाइज करने का था। यू हैव टू शो, रोमांटिसाइज मतलब आइडियलाइज करने का है, यू नो। ये तो मैं बहुत ही सिंप्लीफाइड फॉर्म से बोल रहा हूँ, फिर भी तुम लोग एक बार गूगल में सोशलिस्ट रियलिज्म देख लेना, सोशल रियलिज्म एक बार देख लेना, ठीक है। सो अभी क्या है, रियलिज्म जो आया, रियलिज्म वाज लाइक अ बिग रप्चर फ्रॉम व्हाटएवर हैड प्रीसीडेड बिफोर, ओके। कि इट वाज अ look at the bold letters, reaction against romanticism, okay. Naturally that is what I've been discussing. It demystification का मतलब क्या, कि ये सब फालतूगिरी है। मिस्टिफाई मतलब हम लोग एक चीज को, अरे बाप रे बाप कितना सुंदर है, कितना प्यारा है, ये भगवान है, ये सुंदर है। यू मिस्टिफाई समथिंग, मिस्टिफाई एन ऑब्जेक्ट और मिस्टिफाई अ प्रोसेस। रियलिज्म में क्या किया, उल्टा किया, डीमिस्टिफाई किया, ये सब बकवास है, यू नो। इट डीमिस्टिफाइड द आइडियलिज्म ऑफ द रोमांटिक मूवमेंट, which emphasize the romantic movement का बात है। romantic movement क्या emphasize किया, the individual, the subjective, the irrational, the imaginative, the personal, the spontaneous, the emotional, the visionary and the transcendental. These are the features of romantic movement, है ना। कि man is irrational, man is imaginative, man is wild, man is spontaneous. realism बोला चुप हो जा, ज्यादा बात मत बोल। man is a sufferer, man is not heroic, man is not wild, man is being exploited, okay. Man is being screwed, okay, because he has to work 14 hours a day and he's not getting any money for that, okay. So we would focus on the man as he exists. We are not going to idealize or romanticize the man. So the realist literature is actually started majorly in literature. It started depicting ordinary people in everyday situations, simple people, okay. वो हीरोगिरी बंद करो, ये हीरो, मैन इज नॉट हीरो एनीमोर।
खास तौर पे दोस्तोवस्की का जो लिटरेचर है,
यार बाप रे बाप, कमाल का लिटरेचर है दोस्तोवस्की।
ऑर्डिनरी पीपल बिकम स्टार।
एग्जैक्टली, दे आर द, तुम अगर शेक्सपियर पढ़ोगे तो शेक्सपियर में प्रोटैगनिस्ट कौन है, प्रिंस, किंग्स, जनरल्स, you know, these are the guys who are the protagonists. By the time we come to 19th century literature, Russian literature bolo, French literature bolo, American literature bolo, you know, the kings and the noblemen, they are no longer your heroes, they are no longer your protagonists. They are the ordinary people who are the ordinary housewife, Madame Bovary, who is having an extramarital affair, a series of extramarital affairs, you know. John Steinbeck may the wrath of God, I think, which has been turned into a beautiful film by John Ford, okay. The Grapes of Wrath, the working class people are your protagonist, okay. So they are showing urban situations and everyday life, the rejection of mythical beings. देखो ये भी bold में है, we will not draw you know people with wings and all, which we find in Christian mythology and or classical mythology. Classical mythology मतलब pagan mythology which precedes the Christian, the birth of Christianity, okay. So देखो point number 3 में देखो, before realism, literature tended to focus on nobles, royals and divinity, which were of little relevance to the middle classes by the time we come to 19th century. But realism movement broke this convention by portraying characters that belong to the working classes. The proletariat. Proletariat is the working class. It's a Marxist term, proletariat. There were no great heroes anymore. The protagonists were ordinary characters with whom the audience could easily identify with. So this is a very important element of realism. So point number 4, you guys have already mentioned this, faithful representation of life. Life में जो हो रहा है उसको alter मत करने का कोशिश करो, जो है वही दिखाओ बंदा, okay. कुछ फालतूगिरी मत करो. So the language, even the language used in literature during this period was also ordinary, like unlike in the romantic period. So common vernacular and dialects, colloquial जिसे हम लोग बोलते हैं, देहाती जो हम लोग देहाती language अगर these guys are using in real life, तो literature में भी वही देहाती language use करो as dialogues. they will not speak flowery language. So some of the very important, देखो ये भी आ सकता है, just because it's a visual medium, cinema does not mean कि literature के बारे में कुछ नहीं आएगा. फ्लॉबियर का मदाम बुवारी के ऊपर बहुत सारे फिल्म्स बन चुके हैं, इंडिया में भी बन चुके, माया मेम साहब बाई केतन मेहता. Okay, and Claude Chabrol बनाया है. Claude Chabrol is a very famous French. So many all over the world. Madame Bovary has been adapted. Ibsen's का Doll's House, fantastic play. It's a play. Henrik Ibsen is a Norwegian playwright. Tolstoy का War and Peace, a novel which is more than 1,000 pages. Charles Dickens का Great Expectations and Thomas Hardy's Jude the Obscure are some examples of realist literature. For the first time, these literature, dealing with the dreams and the aspirations and the frustrations of the ordinary people. Okay, they are very pessimistic in tone. Now, the naturalism proceeded from realism is often referred to as a logical outgrowth of literary realism. It can be considered as an exaggerated form of realism since it used detailed realism to propose that social, this is very important thing. Social conditions, heredity, and environment were the three main forces in shaping human character. It was more scientific, almost clinical manner than realism. किसी ने photo finish या photography का साथ compare किया था naturalism को. एक camera, okay, जैसा capture करता है एक slice of life. जितने डिटेल्स में कैप्चर करता है, नेचुरलिज्म भी उतना ही डिटेल्स में कैप्चर करता है. ओके, नेचुरलिज्म whether it's depicted in visual arts or even in literature. ठीक है, so it's the approach is much more scientific. Okay, यहाँ पे क्या है, देखो point number 6, देखो, the characteristics of naturalism include a carefully detailed presentation of modern society, often featuring low-class characters in an urban setting or panoramic view of a slice of contemporary life. यहाँ पे मैं छोटा सा anecdote बोलना चाहता हूँ. Emile Zola, the very famous जो ये है, और फ्लॉबियर, ये लोग they were not painters, they were writers. ये लोग जब उपन्यास लिखते थे ना, they suppose they want to depict a house in the novel that they are writing. Okay, तो हाउस का शैडो डिफरेंट टाइम्स ऑफ द डे में किस तरफ कौन सा एंगल में इट्स मैनिफेस्टिंग, द शैडो इज फॉलिंग, उसका लेंथ कितना है, धीरे धीरे एंगल कैसा चेंज हो रहा है, इंटेंसिटी, लाइट का इंटेंसिटी कैसा चेंज हो रहा है. दे यूज्ड टू ऑब्जर्व एंड टेक डाउन नोट्स इन डिटेल्स, एंड दैट इज व्हाट दे रोट in their novels. So that is the kind of scientific study that they did even in literature. So now you can imagine that is exactly the kind of scientific approach they brought to paintings also, the naturalists. Okay, the realists were not so scientific. They were also giving you exact replica or photocopy almost, but the naturalists were doing it much more. Their approach was very, very clinical, जैसे बोलते हैं, clinical and scientific compared to the realists. ठीक है. Now, naturalism का चक्कर क्या है? Naturalism is much more depressing, as I told you, clinical and scientific. What do I mean by clinical and scientific? देखो, realism is also dealing with working class people, showing you the negative aspects of life. Naturalism is also doing that, though naturalist paintings also engaged in drawing अपना landscapes वगैरह. A lot of students already have mentioned that. Okay, लेकिन यहाँ पे क्या है, as far as जिस किसी ने लिखा कि पेरिस के जो naturalist painters थे, the subjects were like urban centric Paris, okay, working class people and all. Okay, literature also, literature में क्या है, small towns के जो characters हैं, उनके ऊपर कहानी लिखा जा रहा है. लेकिन naturalism as a movement, when I am using the word scientific, when I am using the word clinical approach, the clinical study or the scientific study of life around you, it is heavily inspired by the theories of Charles Darwin. This is a very important thing. Why is Charles Darwin important in the history of mankind? Can you tell me? Because Charles Darwin is the first person, he was a scientist, okay? He's the first person who told us that there's nothing heroic about human beings. Human beings are actually animals. We are descendants of monkeys. Okay, so Charles Darwin ka ye jo theory hai, we are descendants from apes. We are not like descendants of God or Adam or Eve. जो Christian mythology है, Adam, we have descended from Adam and Eve. हम लोग Adam और Eve के औलाद है. Charles Darwin बोला ये सब बकवास है, भूल जाओ, ये सब unscientific चीजें हैं. ये सब में दिमाग मत लगाओ, ये सब फालतूगिरी है, हम लोग जानवर है, एंड सर्वाइवल ऑफ द फिटेस्ट का जो चक्कर है, वी हैव थैंक्स टू द कंपटीशन अमंग्स डिफरेंट एनिमल्स, मैन human beings have succeeded in defeating other animals. That is why human beings are ruling the earth today. Survival of the fittest. Okay, so he wrote a book which came out in 1959, which is called The Origins of Human Being. Aisa kuch hai. Just go down. I think I mentioned the name of the book. Naresh, just go down a little. Yeah, just go down a little. There's a box. This is a very important thing. On the origin of species. This was a revolutionary book. It was a scientific book that was published in 1859. For the first time, this book demystified human beings. कि हम लोग कोई भगवान का औलाद नहीं है, हम लोग कोई हीरोइक और सुपरमैन नहीं है, हम लोग जानवर है. Survival of the fittest. That is how we have come so far. Okay, so this kind of approach, this kind of thought process, is called determinism. So determinism, which stemmed out from Charles Darwin, okay, is a mode of thought that proposes that social conditions, हमारा आजू बाजू जो social conditions है, heredity मतलब हमारा whatever we have inherited from our father, grandfather, and forefathers, and the environment, आजू बाजू का जो environment है, including the nature, were the three main forces in shaping our personality and our fate. कि हम लोग जो भी करते हैं, it is already decided by the conditions that we have grown into, the social conditions, the environmental conditions, and our heredity. These are the three determining forces that makes us take certain decisions. There is no free will. Free will matlab romantics bolte the, even the realists bolte the, man is noble, man can change his own fate, man can, man is proactive, man can decide his own fate. Naturalists बोल रहे हैं under the influence of determinism, which is an offshoot of Charles Darwin's theory of evolution, कि भैया your life is already determined by your natural surroundings, by your heredity, by your environment. You are not capable of taking a decision. There is no chance of free will. There's no scope for free will. You are just a product of your environment. This is a very fatalistic kind of outlook towards life. This is a very pessimistic kind of outlook towards life. We may not agree with it, but that was a prevailing thought which was prevailing at that point of time in history, in Europe especially, and naturalism was extremely influenced by this kind of thought, which is called determinism. Okay? So whenever you're looking at reading a naturalistic novel by Emile Zola and so many other writers, there's a tremendous amount of depression, there's a tremendous amount of negativity, jahan pe, as if human beings are like being moved inside a box by the forces of nature, the forces of social conditions, the political conditions. The mankind or the ordinary man has no control over his surroundings. He is a victim of his surroundings. He has no free will, absolutely. A very, very bleak look towards life, very, very pessimistic look towards life. Okay, this is what determined realism. This is what determined naturalism, not realism. Okay, so that is why they use the word a scientific approach, a clinical approach. Okay, so anyway, but both of them were actually trying to portray life as truthfully as possible in the representational mode. Okay, and but the naturalists were extremists basically. Okay. Now modern art versus contemporary art already has been discussed. Modern art ka period dekho till the arrival of Impressionism. Okay, till the arrival of Impressionism. In fact, Impressionism is the first art movement where it called attention to the process. Attention to the process मतलब हाँ हम लोग landscape draw कर रहे हैं, लेकिन वो उतना ज़्यादा important नहीं है जितना ज़्यादा important है कि हमारा use of color. देख, this is how we use the color. Look at the brightness of the color. Look at our brush strokes. So they are calling attention to the process of the painting, which is the term that I had used a couple of weeks ago, self-reflexive. Okay, they are making the viewers aware of the process. ठीक है ना, more than the subject matter. So Impressionism वो था. Post-Impressionism, we become aware of the brushstrokes much more. Then came Dadaism and Surrealism and Symbolism. So many art movements that we have been discussing for the last couple of weeks. All these art movements which started from approximately 1860s onwards. Second half of the 19th century, starting from Impressionism. Okay, these are all considered overall like an umbrella. Modern art. Modern art challenged the established notion of art. What was the established notion of art? That was like naturalism, realism, neoclassicism, romanticism, baroque, जहाँ पे they were dealing with perspectives, they were dealing with representation, they were trying to represent in their own way, whether it's an idealized manner like the romantics, okay, or a rational manner like the neoclassicists, or a realistic manner like the realists or the naturalists. Okay, their art was representational. धीरे धीरे क्या हो गया? There's a movement against this kind of representational art. They as if you be aware of the process. Okay, the subject matter is not so important. Extreme form was wo zamane mein Dadaism. So this entire canvas, this entire umbrella is, you can treat it as modern art. Modern art, we have different words for it. Avant-garde art. Avant-garde art, matlab, something which is absolutely new, something extremely which is disruptive. Okay, it went on till the 1960s. Okay, and what is contemporary art? Contemporary art is basically contemporary, जिसके practitioners अभी भी जिंदा है. Okay, somebody wrote, a lot of you wrote कि contemporary art is something much more individualistic, much more politically conscious. Okay, why individualistic? It cannot be so easily classified. You can classify surrealism, you can classify expressionism, you can classify Dadaism, post Impressionism, but you cannot classify. Can you classify Andy Warhol? Andy Warhol is absolutely individualistic. Pop art is contemporary art. Okay, pop art ke jitne practitioners hain, of course there are definitely common elements, but they are also individualistic. They are not bothered about, they are not aware of that they have given rise to a movement. They're not aware of some kind of a tradition. They're a complete break, and of course they are much more politically aware. All these problems which disturb us, like global warming, bolo, the level of the seas rising, the glaciers are melting, but we do not know what's going to happen to us after 20 years. Okay, cities will sink. Cities like Bombay and Calcutta are going to go below the water. That is what they are predicting. These things are getting reflected more and more. Globalization, okay, so getting more and more reflected in contemporary art. And contemporary art got different manifestations, of course, starting from installation art, bolo, mixed multimedia, mixed media, video art. Okay, and the process is more important. जैसे कि a lot of you have written कि अभी तुम देखोगे कुछ पेंटर्स आते हैं, म्यूजिक चल रहा है और वो स्टेज में उठ के या कोई दीवार के सामने खड़े होके he's splashing colors on the wall or on a big wall. Okay, and audience is sitting and watching that. The process of painting, that itself, that process that the artist is engaging in, that itself is a work of art. That is called contemporary art. But the audience is not waiting for the artwork to get over and see the finished product. No, that process itself is. I was reading a novel. I was reading an account on Indonesia. जहाँ पे there's a writer, a young woman, a very famous writer in Indonesia, in Jakarta. She is dancing on the stage, and there's an artist, a contemporary artist, who comes on the stage. It's a real ghatna hi, yeah? That happened in 2004 and all. And tickets have been sold. People have gathered inside the restaurant. They're drinking and all. And she's dancing. She's wearing tight figure-hugging clothes. A very famous writer. I'm forgetting the name. Okay. And the artist is drawing on her body. Body art kar raha hai. And there's a music which is also playing on the soundtrack. So that itself, that process itself is a work of art. The process. Okay. Not necessarily the end. So it could be very, very transient. It could be very, very, because after that she's going to go to her room and take a bath, and the work of art will no longer be there. So you be interested not in the finished product, you are interested in the process of the painting, which is being done on the body of a young writer, a popular writer. So these are the kind of experimentations which are happening in contemporary art. Not today. This has been happening for a very long time, since I would say modern art, but modern art can be classified. Contemporary art cannot be classified. Contemporary art is much more spontaneous, much more improvisatory, much more kind of अभी का अभी हो रहा है. There's an immediacy to contemporary art. There may not be an immediacy to contemporary art. For example, Art Deco जो building और Art Deco जो architecture जो है, बॉम्बे में, साउथ बॉम्बे में तुम जाओगे मरीन ड्राइव में, the buildings that you see are those are Art Deco architecture. That is also contemporary art. That is not modern art. It has a certain style. It can be classified. ऐसा नहीं है कि not everything cannot. I mean, everything cannot be classified. ऐसा भी नहीं है. There are certain movements, there are certain points in the movement which can be classified. Okay, major aspect है contemporary art का, the most of the practitioners are still living. हम लोग कभी कभी बोलते हैं contemporary cinema. What is contemporary cinema? For me, a film which was released in 2000 or 1999 is contemporary. Okay, but for somebody who's 21-year-old, a film which has been released in 1999 or 2000 will be sir कितना पुराना film है. So this contemporary art जो है, it's a very relative terminology. Okay.
So okay,
I hope
Ranjan,
I hope I have made myself clear. So all the best. This is
you
the
have
last
covered
time,
all the thing, and this will be Ranjan's last class.
last session.
And 2-3 classes I would be taking in the end, and 2 classes or 3 classes would be taken by another colleague. So thanks, Ranjan, on behalf
Yeah.
of students, and it was
Okay.
a pleasure to talk to you. And
And all the best. I hope all of you get into FTII. Okay. Nitin raised his hand. क्या है नितिन बोलो?
Sir, I have a question.
हाँ बोलो.
So I wanted to ask if you have seen La La Land.
La La Land मैंने देखा. हाँ. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So I am referring to a particular scene where the Mia's theme goes on, and that scene I wanted to define. So there is three terms: magical realism, surrealism, and expressionism.
Mm-hmm.
All three, tend to revoke the psyche of a person. So basically, if I'm a storyteller and I want to tell a story where two lovers are somewhat indulging with each other, and it's a scene of stars basically. If I just magically try to express it, so how can I actually bound it into any of these three terms?
Don't please don't. देखो तुम अगर कॉन्शियसली ये जो मैं सीन करने जा रहा हूँ, इसमें मैं सूरियलिज्म डालूंगा या इसमें दादाइज्म डालूंगा, तुम you will lose your spontaneity. ऐसा नहीं होता है. देखो the filmmaker, forgetting the name of the guy who made that film La La Land. Okay. हाँ डेनियम whatever. हाँ. So वो जो filmmaker है, most filmmakers आज के मतलब any time in the world, whenever filmmakers, most of the filmmakers, good filmmakers I'm talking about, not ordinary faltu filmmakers, most filmmakers are aware of these the different movements in art and sculpture and music and all. They're extremely well read. Okay. And not only they are well read, they the knowledge that they have acquired becomes a part of the system. So when they are doing a particular scene or when they're writing a particular novel or a chapter, they may not necessarily consciously, apply that particular knowledge. It comes automatically, and when it comes automatically, it is not, maybe it's not only magical realism. It could be a mix of surrealism, magical realism, Dadaism, and other influences, a mixture of so many influences. The director himself may not be able to, demarcate these different influences, because it comes kind of, molded together. Okay, he himself is not aware. Okay, so never try to do this, never try to analyze. हाँ, एक सीन हम लोग देखा, हम लोग बोलता है बहुत सूरियल है. ठीक है, सही है, मतलब वो डायरेक्टर के दिमाग में था या नहीं था, और एक्चुअली सूरियल है कि नहीं, वो हमें भी पता नहीं है, क्योंकि there are certain classifications which are extremely difficult to classify actually, especially surrealism.
So basically, at the end of the day, it comes to the audience how you perceive it. Exactly,
of course. तुम्हें क्या पता है क्या influence had worked on, until unless you reading his interview, then it's a different thing. Reading or watching his interview.
I would say, Ranjan, when you was talking about the cubism, I realized the Akira Kurosawa's Rashomon could be inspired from the point of view of cubism. That
it's an interpretation, of course. It is an interpretation.
So you can't say this is being. So sometimes you keep watching, keep seeing, keep reading, and you come to know, okay, this is this is that. Okay. So thanks, Ranjan.
Okay, chalo, yeah.
We'll connect again. Sure.
Okay, chalo, bye bye. Yeah.